Hello ladies and welcome to the channel. They say solitude is a choice, but for Sigma females it's a necessity, one forged by a world that will never fully understand them. The life of a Sigma female is anything but ordinary. She moves through society like a shadow, connected yet distant, powerful yet often misunderstood. Beneath her calm and collected exterior lies a constant struggle to navigate problems that few can relate to. These aren't your typical challenges. They're unique battles born from her fierce independence, relentless pursuit of authenticity, and refusal to conform to outdated expectations. The world might label her mysterious, difficult, or even aloof, but what they don't see are the hidden complexities she faces daily. Today, we uncover the uncommon problems only Sigma females deal with, problems that most people will never notice, let alone understand. Number 1. Feeling drained after social events. After any social event, Sigma females feel completely drained, as if they've just run an emotional marathon. It's not just the usual introverted exhaustion. For them, it's much more intense. Being around people, especially in large groups, feels like they're navigating a sea of noise, where every conversation seems like a battle for meaning. While others thrive on casual interactions, they find most conversations shallow, repetitive, and utterly draining. They aren't interested in small talk, so trying to engage in it feels like they're pretending to care about things they don't. It's like their brain is constantly filtering out irrelevant information just to stay afloat. What really gets to them is the superficiality of social events. Sigma females crave depth, and most social gatherings are the opposite. Surface-level interactions, fake laughs, and obligatory mingling. They're keen observers, noticing every unnecessary comment, every exaggerated compliment, and every attempt at forced connection. Instead of feeling energized like some people do after a night of networking or partying, they leave feeling mentally and emotionally wiped out. It's as though each conversation chips away at their energy until there's nothing left. They're not cold or unfriendly. They simply find it impossible to engage in the performative aspects of socializing. And what makes it worse is that the more they try to fit into these environments, the more disconnected they feel. People who can talk for hours without saying anything of substance leave Sigma females wondering if they'll ever find someone who gets them. This draining effect isn't something they can shake off easily either. After a social event, they need to retreat into their own space, sometimes for hours or even days, just to recover their mental and emotional equilibrium. It's a constant struggle of being in environments that feel out of sync with who they are. And while they're great at blending in when they need to, it comes at a cost, their own energy and peace of mind. Number 2. Difficulty in finding like-minded individuals. Finding like-minded individuals is one of the toughest challenges for Sigma females, and it's not just about making friends. It's about finding people who truly understand them on a deeper level. Most people they encounter seem preoccupied with things that hold no real value to them, chasing trends, obsessing over social status, or indulging in meaningless gossip. It's not that Sigma females think they're better than anyone. It's just that their interests and outlook on life are vastly different from the norm. They crave conversations that go beyond the surface, ones that challenge their thinking, push boundaries, and explore what's real and raw about life. But in a world obsessed with shallow connections and social media-driven relationships, those kinds of interactions are rare. Sigma females don't care about fitting into the latest social clique or adopting the newest trend. They're focused on authenticity and depth. This makes it hard for them to find others who can match their level of intellectual curiosity and emotional independence. More often than not, they end up feeling like they're surrounded by people who just don't get them. And because they refuse to lower their standards for the sake of convenience, they often find themselves walking a solitary path. It's a lonely experience, not because they're incapable of connecting with others, but because finding those rare, like-minded souls feels nearly impossible in a sea of superficiality. Even when they meet people who share some of their values, the connection can still feel incomplete, as if something deeper is always missing. This leaves them constantly searching for that elusive, genuine connection, one that might never come, but one they refuse to settle on just to fill a void. Number 3, following outdated rules. For Sigma females, following outdated rules feels like being trapped in a game where the rules make no sense, yet everyone keeps playing without question. They don't rebel just for the sake of it, but their natural instinct is to challenge anything that feels unnecessary or irrelevant. Whether it's old-fashioned workplace hierarchies, rigid gender roles, or social customs that no longer serve a purpose, these rules come across as nothing more than chains holding them back. Sigma females can't stand blindly following along just because that's how it's always been done. It irritates them to no end when they see people obeying these outdated norms without even questioning why. What makes it harder is that society expects everyone to conform, and when a Sigma female doesn't, she's often labeled as difficult or uncooperative. But it's not about being rebellious. It's about making sure her actions actually align with logic and purpose. If a rule makes no sense or stifles individuality, she's not going to follow it just to make other people comfortable. This constant friction with outdated structures can lead to conflict, especially in environments where tradition is valued over innovation. Sigma females aren't interested in following the herd. They're here to carve their own path, even if it means ruffling a few feathers along the way. The real frustration comes from watching people cling to these outdated rules, almost as if they're afraid of change. To a Sigma female, it's baffling to see how many people choose comfort over progress, especially when those same rules are holding them back from growth. Yet, breaking away from these norms isn't easy. It often means standing alone, facing criticism, and being misunderstood. But that's a price Sigma females are more than willing to pay if it means living a life that's true to their own principles, rather than mindlessly following someone else's outdated playbook. Number 4. Managing perception of mysteriousness. Sigma females constantly have to manage the way others perceive their mysteriousness, and it's something they never intentionally create. They don't walk around trying to seem elusive, but their natural way of moving through the world without oversharing or drawing attention makes them appear distant or enigmatic to others. This perception is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it gives them a sense of control, as people are intrigued and often respect their boundaries. On the other hand, it can lead to misunderstandings, where people start assuming things that aren't true about them. Because they keep a low profile and don't broadcast their every thought or feeling, people are left guessing. And in a world where oversharing is the norm, this makes others uncomfortable. People don't know where they stand with a Sigma female, which leads to all kinds of speculation. Are they hiding something? Are they uninterested? Are they too good to open up? The truth is far simpler. They just value their privacy and don't feel the need to constantly explain themselves. Yet this air of mystery often makes others project their own insecurities or assumptions onto them, leading to situations where they're misjudged or even seen as cold. What people don't realize is that the so-called mystery is just a natural byproduct of how they operate. Sigma females are focused, independent, and choose carefully what they share with others. They don't overshare because they don't feel the need to fill silence with meaningless conversation or reveal personal details to make others feel comfortable. But because most people are used to open books, this quiet strength gets interpreted as secrecy, creating a never-ending loop where Sigma females are constantly managing how their silence is perceived. It's a balancing act, remaining true to themselves without letting others twist their quietness into something it's not. Number 5. Unclear intent. Sigma females often face the challenge of having unclear intent, but not because they're trying to be mysterious or evasive. It's just that they don't always spell out their plans or motivations for others to see. They operate on their own wavelength, and explaining every step or decision feels like a waste of time to them. While most people feel the need to broadcast their intentions, especially in social or professional settings, Sigma females don't see the point in making every move obvious. This leaves others constantly guessing, which can be frustrating or even suspicious for those who are used to more predictable behavior. Their independence and self-reliance often mean that they don't need external validation or approval. so they're not worried about letting everyone know what they're up to. They trust their own instincts and follow their own path, even if it's unclear to those around them. This can lead to misunderstandings, as people might assume a Sigma female's actions are random or disconnected from any clear goal. In reality, she's likely 3 steps ahead, but she doesn't feel the need to explain herself or seek permission. To her, the outcome is what matters, not everyone knowing the process. The real challenge here is that unclear intent can cause friction in relationships or professional settings where transparency is often expected. People want to know where they stand, and Sigma females don't always offer that kind of clarity. This makes them seem hard to read, unpredictable, or even aloof, when in truth, they're simply focused on what matters to them without feeling the need to broadcast their every thought. It's not about keeping people in the dark. It's about not needing external approval to move forward. But for those trying to keep up with a Sigma female, this can feel like trying to follow someone who's always 1 step ahead, but never turns around to explain the way. Number 6, setting boundaries about privacy. Setting boundaries about privacy is a constant battle for Sigma females. While most people seem eager to overshare every detail of their lives, Sigma females are the complete opposite. Privacy isn't just something they prefer, it's something they fiercely protect. They don't feel the need to announce every personal milestone or share intimate details about their relationships, career moves, or plans. This can leave people confused, even offended, because society has grown to expect openness, and when someone refuses to participate, it comes off as distant or secretive. What most don't understand is that for Sigma females, privacy isn't about hiding. It's about maintaining control over their own lives. They don't owe anyone an explanation for their decisions or need constant input from others. But because they're so selective about what they reveal, people often push harder, trying to pry into their business, assuming there's something they're not being told. This puts Sigma females in an uncomfortable position where they constantly have to reinforce their boundaries. They have to remind people that not everyone operates on the same wavelength of openness, and just because they choose not to share everything doesn't mean they're disconnected or uninterested. This constant need to protect their privacy can create tension, especially in environments where transparency is seen as a sign of trust. Sigma females don't view privacy as a wall between themselves and others. They see it as a necessary part of their independence. But others can take it personally, thinking the Sigma female is holding back for some secret reason. What's really happening is that she values the freedom to keep parts of her life to herself, without feeling pressured to explain every move or share her inner world with just anyone. Maintaining these boundaries is exhausting, but it's essential for her sense of self and peace of mind, even if it means some people won't understand or appreciate it. Number 7, balancing personal and professional life. Balancing personal and professional life is a unique struggle for Sigma females because they approach both with the same level of intensity and independence. They don't compartmentalize their lives in the way most people do, and this creates an internal tug-of-war. In their personal life, they crave solitude, reflection, and time to pursue their passions without interruption. But professionally, they are just as driven, always striving for excellence and pushing the boundaries of what they can achieve. The problem is that these two worlds are often in conflict, and it's hard to give both the attention they deserve without feeling like one is suffering. Most people might choose to prioritize one over the other, but Sigma females are wired differently. They feel a deep need to succeed in their careers without compromising their personal space or sacrificing their time for self-growth. This balance is incredibly hard to maintain because society often demands that they choose. Either throw yourself into your work or be fully present in your personal life. But Sigma females refuse to accept those terms. They believe they can have both, even if it means constantly juggling responsibilities and adjusting priorities on the fly. The real challenge lies in the fact that they're often misunderstood in both spheres. In the workplace, they might be seen as too detached because they don't socialize the way others do. In their personal life, they may seem too busy or unavailable because their work demands so much of their energy. The truth is, Sigma females are always navigating this delicate balance, trying to give their all to both sides without losing themselves in the process. It's a balancing act that feels almost impossible at times, but they wouldn't have it any other way because, for them, true fulfillment comes from mastering both the personal and the professional without compromising who they are. Number 8. Misunderstood independence. Misunderstood independence is a constant issue for Sigma females. Their need for solitude and self-reliance is often interpreted as aloofness or a lack of interest in others. They thrive on their own terms and prefer to handle things on their own, not because they think they're better than anyone else, but because they genuinely value their independence. They don't seek validation or constant company to feel complete. They find their strength in solitude and self-sufficiency. This can be baffling for those who are used to more conventional social dynamics, where needing company or seeking approval is the norm. To others, Sigma females' independence can seem like a barrier or a sign of disconnection. People might wonder why they don't reach out more, or why they don't engage in social activities with the same enthusiasm as others. The reality is, they simply don't need the same social interactions to feel fulfilled or valued. They are perfectly content and often more productive when they can focus on their personal goals and interests without constant external interference. Their independence is not a rejection of others, but rather a deeply ingrained way of existing that keeps them grounded and true to themselves. This distinction is often lost on people who view independence as a form of emotional distance. The Sigma female's ability to remain detached while still maintaining meaningful relationships is a balancing act that many fail to understand. They are not trying to shut people out, they're just managing their energy and focusing on what truly matters to them. This persistent misunderstanding leaves them isolated at times, not because they want to be alone, but because their way of being is often at odds with the more conventional expectations of social interaction. Number 9. Energy drainers. Sigma females have a zero-tolerance policy for people who drain their energy or disrupt their peace. This isn't about being harsh or unkind. It's a matter of self-preservation. Their time and emotional resources are incredibly valuable to them, and they're selective about who gets to share in that space. They won't tolerate constant drama, negativity, or people who make demands on their energy without offering something of genuine value in return. When someone repeatedly disrespects their boundaries or tries to impose their problems onto them, Sigma females don't hesitate to cut ties. They understand that maintaining their inner equilibrium is essential for their well-being, and they're not willing to sacrifice it for anyone. This might mean distancing themselves from individuals who can't contribute positively to their life, even if it's uncomfortable or difficult. Their refusal to accept toxic behavior is a testament to their commitment to self-respect and mental health. This strict standard can sometimes make them seem unapproachable or overly selective. To outsiders, it might look like they're dismissing people without a second thought. In reality, they're simply refusing to compromise on their personal peace. They've learned that being around the wrong people can be draining and counterproductive, so they prioritize relationships that uplift and support them. For Sigma females, the choice is clear. They'd rather be alone than be surrounded by negativity or energy vampires. It's not about shutting people out. It's about ensuring that those who enter their circle bring positivity and respect, reflecting their own high standards for how they wish to live. In navigating the world, Sigma females encounter a range of challenges that most people never see coming. Their journey is marked by a relentless pursuit of authenticity and self-sufficiency, but it's also punctuated by the complexities of misunderstood independence, privacy battles, and the struggle to connect with like-minded individuals. They don't fit neatly into societal expectations, and their unique approach to life often makes their experiences seem both extraordinary and elusive. But it's precisely this blend of strength and solitude that defines their exceptional nature. Understanding these challenges not only sheds light on their remarkable resilience, but also offers a glimpse into the profound depth of their inner world. So the next time you cross paths with a Sigma female, remember that behind her quiet confidence lies a landscape of intricate struggles and unmatched independence. If you appreciated diving into this unique perspective, make sure to subscribe for more content that explores the remarkable realities of extraordinary individuals. If you enjoyed the video and found these insights into the unique challenges Sigma females face fascinating, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content that dives deep into the complexities of being extraordinary. Your support helps us continue exploring these intriguing topics.